I'm a member of Jewish Action for Palestine and Jewish Voice for Labour. I want to come and speak today. Since the Nakba 76 years ago, the Palestinian people have been forced to live in the conditions of an apartheid state. And since that time, they've been torn apart on geographic lines and forced to defend themselves from the onslaught of the oppressor nation. And as we all know, over the last 8 months, the situation has got far worse. The Palestinians in Gaza are facing genocide, and those in the West Bank face daily degeneration, daily abuse, and the daily denial of their democratic rights. When the Zionists began their genocide, however, they didn't think that 8 months later we would all still be stood here fighting back. They couldn't have imagined it in their worst nightmares. By coming out every week in support of those who are being bombed and starved in Gaza, we've shaken the imperialist propaganda machine. No longer can the Zionists argue that Israel is the only democratic state in the Middle East. Public support for Israel is declining throughout the world, and the movement for BDS goes from strength to strength. The students of Manchester and throughout the UK that took part in the occupations and encampments show us all the way forward. Now fearing for his own political future, genocide Joe Biden has been forced to put on the mask of a peacemaker. So finally, the UN Security Council has put forward a mealy-mouthed resolution for a ceasefire. Now, of course, any end to the slaughter should be welcomed, but let's be clear here. Israel is the guilty party, not Hamas. There are only 116 hostages still held by Hamas, and the Israeli death toll sits less than 1,500. Palestinians have officially lost over 37,000. 25 times more people, and these figures are vastly underreported as they don't take into account anyone buried underneath the rubble of their former homes, schools, mosques and hospitals. So now is the time to apply pressure to Labour. Keir Starmer cannot be allowed to sit back and rest on his laurels if and when he gets into Downing Street. We must hold him to task. We must push for a ceasefire which acknowledges the crimes of Israel, and we need to get the imperialists to commit to rebuilding the vital infrastructure of Gaza. Starmer presents himself as a human rights lawyer, so surely he can't continue to deny international law when he is the Prime Minister of this country. We need to direct our energy to bring our organisations, our trade unions, our political organisations and parties together to direct action, strikes, boycotts, divestments. We need to impose a workers' boycott on Israel, ending the flow of arms, ending the flow of propaganda, and ending the flow of capital to Israel. We need to escalate our pressure. Workers' boycotts, workers' strikes, occupations of workplaces and government offices, schools and business, as part of a campaign to target the functioning of the capitalist state of Britain and make them know that until there is justice, there will be no peace. Free Palestine!